This is Felix and welcome to Felix Comics and Toys Review.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, the evening TV. Everywhere you look, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, there's a face of somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look, when you're lost out there and you're all alone, a light is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look, everywhere.
Hi everyone, in today's episode we'll be on the team leader of the Black Ops Squad X-Force, Wolverine, created by writers Roy Thomas and Lee Wayne, artist John Romita Sr. This figure is part of the Hasbro's 2019 Marvel Legends X-Force Wave of Wendigo. The wave includes 6 figures that ends up building the 7th figure, Wendigo. And in this wave we get the Uncanny X-Force version of Wolverine. He comes with a Build-A-Figure piece, Wendigo's head, and that is it. The box is a standard Marvel Legends box, black and yellow and with the Uncanny X-Force logo in red. It has a drawn image of Wolverine on both sides. The back gives a brief summary of the figure and it shows all the other 6 figures and Wendigo. Okay guys, so let's get started. Category number 1, size. The height of Wolverine in the comics is 5 feet 3 inches, that's 63 inches. He weighs about 300 pounds. So as the 1 to 12 scale goes, it comes out to be 5.25 inches. So as a Marvel Legend figure, it should be about 5.3 inches. But after measuring him, it looks like he's about 5 5/8. He's not that off compared to his actual size from the comics. Now his body proportion is similar mold from the Juggernaut wave. There's not much of a difference, only the change of boots and hands. He seems small because he is supposed to be small. Even for his size, they kept his stocky build. I like it. So no issues with his body proportion. So Hasbro, even for being off just by a little bit on his height, he still gets a 5 in size. Category number 2, articulation. Ball hinge neck, down, up, right. Left. Butterfly shoulders, ball jointed shoulders, double jointed elbows, as far as it goes, 90 degrees. Hinge and swivel wrists, ab crunch, no torso swivel, hip swivel, ball hinge hips, thigh swivel, double jointed knees, so close. No calf swivel, hinge and ankle rockers. This Wolverine, like any other masked figures, does not have any issues in articulation. This figure gets another 5 for this category. Category 3, texture. Alright, so let's start from head to toes. His head looks like a mixture of both the Apocalypse wave and also the Juggernaut Wolverine facial expression. So simple. I mean, there is actually no emotion whatsoever on his face. This is not good for this type of version that we have of Wolverine. They could have picked a better facial expression on this one, such as like a screaming or a mad face version, not a frown face version. The red eyes look good. The only thing is that it looks like he has his eyelids shut. There's just a little bit of running paint on his face right there on the mask as well, but the seams on the mask look great. I love the pointy ears, pointier than the ones that he had before. The gray and the black color of the outfit matches to the other recent versions that they came out of X-Force, like the X-23 and even Deadpool. The paint looks sloppy, it's just running on some areas. Also, they painted the shoulder pads right here, which the Wolverine from the Apocalypse actually has shoulder pads. I like that they added the hair on the arms. It's a good touch to it. The belt actually looks pretty cool. They put a lot of detail on the X and the red. You can see the pouches on the sides. His boots are detailed However, they're painted black, so you can't really see the detail unless you look up closely. You can see all the straps, all the buckles. We get a new set of claws, thicker version. These are easier to move around. It's a preference. I like the other version just because they appear more realistic, because honestly these things are too thick. I can't see them retract to his forearm and fit perfectly. Look how big they are. Yeah, they're a little thicker and they're easier to maneuver. And these are removable, but I don't recommend it because they're actually harder to put on. I do prefer the other ones, but I'm not gonna lie, these actually look pretty cool. But it's a preference, and these don't actually look realistic. The detail on the costume was a great touch. The thick claws were questionable, but it did look cool. But with the sloppy paint job that they did, this figure is gonna get a B for texture. Category number 4, Similarity. This version of Wolverine is a special one. He's actually the team leader of a special ops squad with the objective pretty much to kill any assigned targets. The team was actually created by Cyclops to do the dirty work, which he didn't want the X-Men to do. Now, Wolverine's first appearance as wearing this costume was in X-Force Volume number 3, number 1 in 2008. And if you base your knowledge on movies, Wolverine did not use a gray or black suit as the X-Force member, but he did use a black version of the costume in the original X-Men films. Now, a team of X-Force did come out in 2018 movie Deadpool number 2, but the X-Force team was not the Black Ops version that we have here, or actually that Wolverine came out in. But we do have Deadpool and Domino that actually came out in that movie, and they were members of the X-Force later on in the comics. Now, for those cartoon lovers, the Black and Ops version of the X-Factor did not come out in the cartoons. X-Force was mentioned in the anime series Marvel Anime X-Men. Now, for those comic books fans, this Wolverine is 100% identical to the comic books. From the color of the costume, the red eyes, and the thickness of the claws, this is a nice version to add to the members of the X-Force team that we technically kind of have already, new ones. So for Similarity, you get a 5 in this category. Category number 5, accessories. This is always a hard category to grade because some of the characters have gotten a 4 for not having anything. But sometimes having removable items make a big difference. So in this case, Wolverine only comes with a Build-A-Figure piece, Wendigo's head, and that is all. Now, for this version of Wolverine, he's an assassin. Technically, he has the stuff he needs, the claws. The cool thing is that these claws are also removable. You can basically pose him in different gestures by using his removable claws. This is always a bonus, but he only came with one facial expression. At least we got 2 heads for the Weapon X in the Caliban wave. So sorry, Hasbro. I'm giving you guys a 4 for accessories. Final score. It's that time to add up the score, guys. So when it came down to the size of this figure, I loved it. He was only off by a few inches, but on his defense, he was wearing boots, so it might have altered his height just a little bit. Now, his body proportion was identical to his other body modes. Not much of a change on it, which is fine. Even by being small, he still kept a thick, bulky body, so perfect on the category. He ended up getting a 5 on that. Now, his articulation was not an issue, but like majority of all the big bicep figures, it's difficult to bend their double jointed elbows for more than 90 degrees. This is not an issue for Wolverine, being that he does not really need a weapon to look down like the scope. So his articulation was not a problem in this version, so he ended up getting a 5 for articulation. His texture was something I really wanted to look into. We get a different Wolverine all the time, and I was curious on this one. They did great with this because they provided us with a new costume, and the color choice was awesome because they are slowly giving us a new Black Ops team, an X-Force team. Another thing was his claws. The thickness and how big they weren't as realistic as I thought they should have been, being that when they get retracted, they don't look like they will fit the size of his forearm. And now also the paint job on it, they kept the flat gray color on it. They could have done a metallic gray like in other figures, it probably would have looked even better. Now the other thing also was the paint job on the figure. The color choices were awesome, but I could have overlooked it if it had 1 to 2 runs on it, but it looked like they had it all over the figure, including the eyes, the face, and some of the black and silver. So for texture, I ended up getting a 4. My favorite category is Similarity, and Hasbro, you nailed it with this figure. I said it before that this is what makes the collecting of these figures an awesome thing to do. Having an identical comic book character like this figure, I mean, I can't wait for the rest of the team to start coming out of Hasbro's. So pretty much, we have Wolverine so far already, we have the X-23, we have Deadpool, now we have Deathlock also coming out. There's going to be more figures coming out from the X-Force. Now for Similarity, they end up getting a 5 for this. Now the last category, I laid this one last for a reason, because it's the hardest one, accessories. This figure doesn't need anything extra because he has a removable claws, and it's enough to pretty much pose him in any way you want, with the claws, without the claws. But the facial expression on him does not fit his job title. He's an assassin, he's supposed to be killing all these people. So I felt that for this version of Wolverine, he should have gotten like a different facial expression. Mad, screaming, something else. Like I said, Weapon X had 2 alternate heads, so this one should have had one too as well. So for that category, I ended up getting a 4. Now with all that being said, the final score for Wolverine is an A-. A-. So far, Wolverine has not disappointed. He still holds an average score of a 94% and A- so far with the other Wolverine from the other wave. So let's see how the rest of the characters in this wave match up against him. So stay tuned for the next episode, which will be on Cannonball. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you for watching this. Please leave any comments, click like, and subscribe. And until next time, don't stop collecting. Thanks, guys.